Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eagle, and welcome back to another episode inside of Technological Journey. In the last episode, we got a lot done, and we automated the uptime of our large bronze boiler here. So we set up these coke ovens to produce charcoal, into coal coke, into creosote, and all that's going underneath it here into this thing, keeping this thing up. We also moved over the primitive alloy smelter, the steam grinder, and then we also built the steam oven in between episodes here. So we got that built in here as well. Also over here to the right, as you can see, I moved over the high pressure steam forge hammer and the steam compressor, which will soon be obsolete, hopefully by the end of today's episode. And also over here, as you can see, we started making our first LV machines. I go ahead and crafted up a basic steam turbine just to kind of see how that all functions so I can get that rocking for you guys today. We also got this wire mill that was just going to help us make circuits a little bit easier. So we did craft up some circuits. I think we have about 20 made extra right now. So this is not going to be the permanent location. I'm thinking about moving it over to this side and then having a big line of the LV machines with the wires going in on the back side of them. And yeah, so that's pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and just move this for now. And then we'll go ahead and get talking about what we want to do today. So if I go into the quest book here, you can see I completed these quests. I got the wire mill, got the bending machine as well. I did make a few machines actually, so let me pull that out of one of these bags. I'm not sure which one it's in, and I guessed correctly. So we have the bending machine to make ourselves plates more efficiently, and the lathe to make ourselves rods more efficiently. So already out the gate, we got wires more efficiently, rods more efficiently, and plates more efficiently. So even better rate of production here. So we're going to have all those set up. And also, if I go in my inventory here, you can kind of see all the different things that we want to get going today. So we already have the wire mill, already have the bending machine, already have the lathe. And now this is where we start going into a lot more machine crafting. And I'm not sure exactly how we're going to power it exactly. My plan for today was to make 4 basic steam turbines to get ourselves 128 LV, which I believe is 1 amp MV, which is not a big deal right now because we don't have any MV machines, but that should be a good amount of LV power to get us going. So plan is to make 3 more of these in addition to the one that we already have, and make ourselves a battery buffer, fill that up with batteries. So we need to do that. We need to get a mixer to get the battery out of the way. We need to get the canning machine to make the battery holes, and then we got to get the electrolyzer to get the lithium. We got a whole plan of things to do today. So we'll see how much of that we can get through. I even put it out here on the clipboard, and you can see all the stuff we want to do. So let's see. Of all these, yeah, I just got a lot of machine crafting to get done. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Let's rock up here, and let's see. Let's think about this. How we want to do this first. I guess we want to start with the steam turbines because that's going to be important for us to power it. So let's go ahead and start with the steam turbine. Looks like we're going to need a lot more LV machines. I don't know if I have enough. Yeah, I don't have enough steel plates, but that's okay. I crafted some steel in the last episode, and I guess we may as well start with partially setting up the one turbine that we have for the power, and we're going to be using copper cables. I just used my time in a bottle on a storage crate. Didn't know you could do that, but okay. We need to get a lot more steel plates, so we're going to want to set up the power system for it. So I'm not sure what cables to use. I think either insulated tin would probably be better, or just go for copper. Let's see. Is the copper cable even better? Just because I feel like it might be easier. That's annealed copper. Okay, so it still has 2 loss per block with 1 amp of MV, so it can't carry all that power. So I think that's what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to use the copper cables. I'm not too worried about insulating them at the current time because the way they'll be placed, it shouldn't be an issue. But anyway, let's go ahead and get going on that. Let's head down here. And let's figure out where we want to do this. So we're going to have the steam coming out of here. So we could go the turbines here, and like I said, this will all be temporary. We will have this stuff moved into a better location at some point, I'm sure, but for right now, let's just start right here with the steam turbine. So let's go ahead and put the steam turbine in. Actually, I believe what we're going to want to do is probably have it offset 1 block. Have it offset 1 block so that we can have the cables running in the backside. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and just put the cable down, the fluid conduit down now. Place this on top of that thing. Cool, and let's rotate this so that we can actually get it going the right way. Okay, so now the power will be going out that way. Or do we want it going out the back? Yeah, we want it going out the back. So the power go here, and then all the cables will go here. Cool. It's not actually important for this. We could just use you can connect it directly to the turbine and it will automatically feed into it, but we're going to get it set up in a little bit nicer fashion because we're going to need a lot of machines today. So let's just set up the wire mill, bending machine, lathe. Cool. And then we just got to get this thing fed with some steam. Let's go ahead and get our copper cable as well. This should be enough. Hopefully I don't electrocute myself. If it becomes an issue, we can deal with that when we need to. So not too bad. I know none of this is all going to have to get moved even later on in the episode, hopefully when we get the battery buffer set up, but not too bad. Oh, I'll get the wire cutter as well. Sorry for the frantic start to this episode. I don't have as much time today to film as I've had the past couple days, but we'll see how much we can get done in the time that I do have. So let's go back down into our maintenance hatch here that I created. And now we should be able to just run, I guess this is the steam line here. And what do you know? It lines up perfectly. Oh good. We're gonna have to get ourselves some blocks, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to build. Oh, fun. Okay, well, let's just get ourselves some dirt for right now. Maybe in today's episode, if we have some time, we can flatten out this area, make this a little bit easier to maintain back here. What in the world is going on here? That was just a visual glitch? That is weird. Okay. Let's build up here. And let's connect this to there. We also are going to want to get on the bottom side of that so that we can configure it the way we want. Make sure it's on insert, on a light gray channel, always active. So that should mean, yep, there we go. It is getting steam. So that's cool. So we can have all these going kind of right next to where we already have it. Get ourselves some producing some basic LV power. Cool. So we have that, and then now we have the wire mill, which is not being powered currently because of the way we have this set up. Let's have this here. Oh wow, that does a lot of damage. Okay, well, we're gonna have to be careful with that today. Good lord, I didn't think it would be that much damage. So these all should be getting power now. Unfortunately, just one of these is not going to cut it in terms of power, but we can just stack them and get a nice little stack of that going. So bending machine, get ourselves making the plates. We do need a circuit, and I think I crafted one in here. Yep, and it's already pre-configured, and we can put that in here, and there we go. We should start crafting ourselves some plates at a 1-to-1 ratio, thankfully. So we'll let that rock for a little bit. And let's kind of figure out what we want to do next. So let's look in the quest books while that's going. So I think what the plan is today, and I'm not sure how difficult these things are going to be, but a lot of the stuff that we want to craft is like further down in this line here, as far as the electrolyzer, the mixers over here, but it doesn't have all the machines on here that we're going to make today, which is fine, but we don't need them. So let's just get this. This will unlock that quest, and I think what we're going to do is just kind of go down this line. We're not going to start with this. We're probably just going to make them and then just collect the quest when we want to, but the main goal is just get these machines up and running so that we can make ourselves a battery buffer and then have a good source of LV power rocking, and then we can scale it up from there. Cool. So let's go ahead and make sure we get these plates. Do we have enough wrought iron plates? Yeah, that should be enough for what we're going to do. I think we just need one per LV hole, so not too bad. Not too bad. Or maybe it's 2. I don't remember. But either way, we should have enough. 14 plates. Looks like this thing's using a lot of power. Okay, well, something's going on with the power production there. It's not because it's not getting steam. That's not the issue. It might just be using, with the loss of this cable, it might just be not quite enough. But that's okay. We got ourselves a quick little 19. That should be fine. Go to sleep real quick and make ourselves an machine hole here. Once we get the second turbine going, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Okay, so LV machine hole. Need the casing. Machine hole. And we need some rotors. What are we missing? 10 plates. How fitting that we don't have 10 plates. We are actually running fairly low on tin in general. We're probably going to have to do a little mining trip for that at some point. Hopefully we can get through today with what we got, but I'm not sure. I did craft a lot of stuff in between last episode to get us going, but anyway, it should be okay. Maybe it's just the steel takes a little bit more power because it's a longer craft, but it is not filling faster than we can make it, but that's okay. We just need 8 plates. Let's see, maybe if we clip that cable, is that not how this works in this? Huh. Okay, well, I'm not sure how to deal with the cables here. I thought it would use a wire cutter. That's usually how the other RegTech packs work. Do I just need a wrench? Can I use yet a wrench? That'd be nice. Nope. Well, that's unfortunate, but we got 3 so far. Let's make sure we can get our 4th. Man, this thing is really struggling. So we really need to, let's just get rid of these. I don't think that's the issue, though. Let's even go one step further and move it one block closer just to get a little bit more power from the loss. Put the circuit in there, tin in there. Is that able to do it? Okay, so it might just be from the cable loss that it's not able to run it, which is even more so why we need to get more of these turbines up and running. I don't know if there's a zero loss cable in LV that isn't a superconductor cable. I think tin's probably our best bet in terms of cost, but I don't know. Let's check. I see this tin cable worse. Platinum, tin. Okay, so it's 1-to-1, so maybe the copper's not as good. It just doesn't hold as much charge. It can only do 32, just 1 amp of LV power, which we're going to be able to provide 4 at some point. So I don't know. I guess I could use the 4x tin cable. Maybe that would be better. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably what we'll end up doing. We'll probably just end up going with the 4x tin cable eventually. So that's okay. That's down the line. We're going to need to get some more tin before we can even think about doing that. But for right now, there we go. We got ourselves 14 tin plates, and we can get the rest of these steel ones going. This should be plenty for us to make another steam turbine and then get rid of some of those issues that we're having. So we need to make 2 of these tin rotors. I don't know if we have enough to make 2. We do. And that, in theory, should be another turbine. Let's go ahead and get that set up. Can't wait till we have better ways to travel around the base. That's going to be very, very nice. Okay, and then we want to rotate this. Where's my wrench? Oh, goodness. We also finished setting up these farms a little bit more, so they're full and they're going, so they're getting us some food. Let's get this rotated. Actually, we do want that the way it was. We just want the cable. I'm about to die. Okay, here's my plan. We're going to connect this wire mill. Okay, we're going to connect this wire mill to this. Then we're going to make our tin. We're just going to make a bunch of tin cables, and we're just going to go ahead and bite the bullet and make ourselves the 4x tin cable now, because I do not want to die to these. That sounds awful, because it's almost happened twice already. That is embarrassing. Okay, so this is rocking. It's struggling with power, but maybe if I add this cable in, let me rotate it out this way. There we go. This should be better. Oh, I realize I'm not going to get the steam input into this. We're going to have to change with the configuration of this quite a bit because it's not getting this, but that's not a huge deal. I think what I'll do, we'll have them laying in a horizontal line and have the steam in from the bottom and have them all going out one side, hopefully the back. So we'll probably have them run along this line here. So let's try that instead. That's unfortunate that it just dropped below there. Too expensive for me to forget that. All right, cool. So let's then, don't need the bending machine. It's about done. Cool, good amount of steel plates. Hopefully that's enough for the machines we're gonna make today. If not, we'll see. So let's get this out of here. We're gonna want the other turbine here. Fluid conduit, turbine, output out the back. Gonna go underneath and change the input. Okay, let's just go ahead and preemptively get rid of these. Light gray channel, always input, and we now have that rocking as well. Very cool. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, there's some more tin cable. Now let's just go ahead and get these tin cables made. Okay, so we need the 4x tin cable, which is just a 4x cable with 4 rubber instead of 2. So we're gonna need a better way to make rubber as well. I think I added a compressor in here as well. That could be useful for making more plates because we're getting a lot of rubber. It just takes a long time to make it. So very simple, just takes 4x tin cable or 1x tin cable. Okay, let's get this. We can make 11. That's not great, but it's also not terrible. Do we have any rubber plates left? Kidding me. What did I do with them all? I could have sworn that I had some. Okay. Well, then I guess all we have left to do is steam compressor. Maybe there's some in the steam compressor already. Let's see if I was a good boy and actually did this the way I was supposed to. Oh, there we go. We got 32 in there. So I'm not too upset then. All right. We can go up here and make the cables now. 4x tin cable. Need some string. Not a big deal. And we can make 8 of them with the rubber that we had. All right, I'm not too upset with that. That should be a good amount, at least to start. And we can always make more as we get this more fleshed out. So very cool. Let's go ahead and back down there. And let's get rid of wire mill, get rid of this nasty cable. And then let's get ourselves these. This is where the 2 other ones are going to go. Boom and boom. And then we can have our first machine set up right here. Let's just do this. Big line. Wire mill, lathe, bender, wire mill, lathe, bender. And these all should be getting powered. That's not too bad. Okay. Now we can go ahead and get more tin plates. We need 4 per rotor, so we need 2 more. Got the rods, got the rings, screws. Yeah, it looks like we just need some more plates. We'll make 16 more of those. And the bender with the circuit should make ourselves some plates, and it does look like it is able to keep up with the demand even with just 2 of these of just one, so that's good. You only have 1 loss per block, which is nice. So this is producing 64 EU a tick at LV amperage. Not too bad. Get ourselves a few more plates here. I think 6 is fine. Let's see how the boiler's keeping up. Good. Good. I even moved the endervoir underneath because it was not auto outputting or making an infinite water source when it was in a vertical state like it does on Nomi Factory. So I had to put it underneath the boiler. No big deal. It actually looks significantly better than it did. So that is a win, I would say. Put these in here. 12. Okay, so we need to make 2 more of these bad boys. Very nice. And then we're going to need to make 4 of these rotors. And out of plates. I didn't realize it took 2 per. Just wait for this last one to craft. Okay, cool. And with that all being done, we should be able to now craft ourselves the last one. 1 bender, or what are we missing? We're missing some motors. So we need some redstone. So some more rods. Okay, there we go. We got 2 more basic steam turbines. So this tin cable, with it being 4x, it should be able to handle the amount of amperage and wattage, which is nice. And we shouldn't theoretically die if I step on this. Okay, that's good. Now we need to get our wrench. I'm going to get an electric wrench at some point here in the very near future. I'm so tired of having to move this stuff around. I know these become more obsolete as we go, but for right now, it is very frustrating to have to deal with these here and here. Okay, and then now we got to go underneath and connect up our fluid conduits. Here and here. Insert the light gray channel, always active. These should be getting steam. Very cool. There we go. We got 1 amp of MV power created now. That's pretty cool. And the battery buffer will only make this a little bit easier, so I can kind of fill up the power and not have to have these things stressing by how much they can produce per tick. It will be handled by the battery buffer. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. There we go. We got our power set up. Seems like the last thing we're going to need really is just more tin cable so we can make more machines down the line. I'm not going to worry about automating the machines for right now, just because we're just really just concerned with getting them set up. So not a huge deal. Okay. Do we have any more just tin? We do have some tin up here. A lot of stuff in here that doesn't need to be in here. Inventory management something. I didn't talk about this. As I was looking through the quest book, I always went down here to the bottom and looked at the implied energistics tab. And I read this first quest here, the inscriber calculation press, and I kind of read through this, and it's saying RTP uses random. So, okay, so we teleported around and got ourselves 3 out of the 4 presses here. So we still need to go get the inscriber press, but in doing so, I made a couple chests in here that I found from the meteors, and all that stuff's in here. So we are ready for that once we do decide to get into that, which I don't think we're going to be able to do that soon, but it is something that we have planned and at least somewhat beginner prep for. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take this tin and put it in the wire mill. We're going to let that rock. What's the next step here? Okay, so we've got ourselves the turbines. We'll leave that recipe there. Battery buffer, canning machine. Let's not worry about the buffer yet. That'll be something we'll do at the end because we don't need it until we can actually craft the batteries. So I guess the next thing we're going to want to make is we need battery alloy to make these holes. Okay, so we need battery alloy to make the holes, and to make the battery alloy itself, you need a mixer for it. So we need to get the mixer. Make sure I'm not going out of order here. Okay, so let's start with the mixer. See how we get on from there. We don't have any lead either, so we may have to take a second and go mine some lead. I don't think we have any left over. Yeah, I don't have any lead. Do we even have a marker for any of it? I do. Okay. Let's just go ahead and grab some while we're here. Just a little bit of it. Okay. I don't know if there's a void backpack or anything, but that would be very nice. My inventory is an absolute disaster right now. Okay. I do want to get some LV miners set up as well. I feel like that might be useful because then I can use just an ender tank and move the miner around wherever I want. So I can have one at the base collecting the steam and one out wherever I want it at any given time. So it should be, I want to say that's enough lead for right now. I don't really feel like mining right now. I already done a lot of that. So I think our first step is with this lead, we can pulverize it down to get 2. And then pulverize it down again to get more. So while this is going, we can have some lead going. Let's go ahead and just put all this in here. Okay, where's the lead? What does the galena do? Is it the similar vibe? Pulverize it down to get crushed galena, repulverize it, and then from there, can we do anything with it? Centrifuge it to get galena and lead. Okay, so we don't really want to use the galena unless we're just going to smelt it right away, which might not be the worst idea. Oh no, we can't even do that. You smelt the dust down? Nah, we'd have to electrolyze it to get stuff out of it, and it's an MV recipe. Or blast furnace it. Okay, so no galena for right now, so let's just go ahead and put the lead in here. Okay. Back up to the top of the base here. We're already running low on food. Just get ourselves some carrots. Okay. So let's go ahead and put some of this away. Not too bad. And what did I say? I said we're going to do the mixer first. So mixer first. We needed lead for the battery alloy, which is going right now. Bigger. All right, so we need glass, another tin rotor, and an LV machine hole. Let's grab our glass. Put that in there for crafting. And there we go, we got a mixer. So, what goes into that battery alloy? It is antimony and lead dust. We need to get, probably smelt it and just repulverize it, if I had to guess. I think that might be the easiest. And I think I have antimony ingots somewhere. I have 6 of them. I don't know what's gonna be enough. How did I get that antimony anyway? I don't even know. Smelted stibnite. I think I have some stibnite in here. Yeah, we got 30. Let's just smelt that down to get antimony. Not worried about the byproducts right now. Let that go. Let's hook up the mixer and move over the crushed ore. After this, it should be making us impure dust that I can then smelt for lead. It might give us lead nuggets, unfortunately, but it'll be better than nothing. Get our antimony out as well. Get that turned into dust. Very nice. And let's just go ahead and give this thing a quick rock. That is nice. And there we go. We got all the stuff we need. So now we don't need the antimony to be in the smelter, but we do want to get this in here because we're going to want to smelt this down into regular lead. It does look like it makes regular lead ingots, which is a huge, huge thing. Give this a little rack with the time in the bottle. Got a few hours built up. Oh good, it only takes a few seconds. And then I think we can just put this and this in here. Don't tell me we need a program circuit. Oh, we do. Okay. Well, that's okay. Good thing we made a bunch of circuits. And I think it said configuration 2. And we need one circuit. Where are my circuits at? Here they are. We're already burning through them. But we knew that was going to happen. Then on circuit 2. Pop this in there, and hopefully we should be making, over the course of 12 seconds, 5 battery acid, or battery alloy, which then we're going to smelt and then turn into plates. While we do that, let's go ahead and get some more tin. Just quickly get some tin. I'll probably just end up just normal smelting it for now, and I'll pulverize the stuff that we don't get next time. So let's get some tin. Oh, this is my secondary mine. Where's my other one at? This one, okay. And I do have the base chunk loaded, so it should still be working even while we're not there. But this should give us enough tin for a while. I know it's not the most efficient right now, but that's just how we gotta roll. A decent amount. Tin ore. Tin ore. Siderite will also be tin. Cool. This mining hammer is so nice. I've already repaired it once. All right, and honestly, that is probably fine for the time being. Get ourselves some tin smelting up. Maybe if I just use the siderite, it smelts into 2. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. And we'll just save the regular tin ore for when we want to do the pulverizing, even though it definitely would be better to do with the other one, with cassiterite, but that's okay. We just need quick tin right now. Because we need to make more cables as well. Okay, so let's go up into our inventory and get rid of the mixer because that is done. And we need to make some tin cable so that we can make the battery holes, which will lead us into our next endeavor. Okay, so that's done. We got 30 battery alloy. Let's get that smelted. Then we need the wire mill to make some more tin cables, which we have a bunch of. But we're still going to need more. Always going to need more. So this should be a good amount to make. This should make 4 battery holes, which is nice. Does look like these are all able to keep up even with double 2 machines working at once. But it said that it could handle 16 of these at once in the boiler quest, but I don't think it can handle 16 of them and all these bigger machines. But eventually these will become obsolete. The furnace will probably be useful for a while, but we will get a macerator at some point that will be pretty good. But it still probably won't be as good for a while, just because this does 8 in parallel. Alloy smelter, that will become obsolete here not too long from now. Okay. 4 plates right now. Just go ahead and make a couple batteries. Battery holes. Cool. 2 empty battery holes. We're going to want to make 4. And that is the plan. Once this is done here. And I think the plan for, depending on how far we get in this episode, just kind of showing you guys the crafting progression. I think the plan is between episode, I will get the remaining LV machines that we need. And I think in the next episode, I'm going to want to do some base expansion. And I may end up moving all the LV stuff into its own separate area and just transport the steam via ender tanks, which might mean we need to make some trips to the nether. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, we're just going to kind of keep crafting, keep going down this quest or this line to get all of these machines that we want. And then, yeah, we'll just see what happens. So these are useless right now. So the reason we needed to make all these machines is to fill these up. So we need to get, now that we've got the battery holes made, we need to make a canning machine and an electrolyzer. We need the electrolyzer to electrolyze this lipidolite dust, which has lithium in it. And then we need that lithium in the canning machine to make ourselves the batteries. Now, we do have to deal with the products of this, which is a lot of oxygen. So we might end up having to make a super tank on top of that, which I also have in here as well. So there's a lot of different steps that we're going to have to take here just to get ourselves some batteries. But for right now, I think that's a pretty good start. I guess let's start with the electrolyzer. That could be a pretty useful machine. Electrolyzer, and also put this tin cable recipe in here. 3 more. Let's just hang on that. But let's work on the electrolyzer. Looks like it needs 4 gold wire. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. But let's just start with what we do know how to craft, or do have on us. Okay, now we just need the gold wire, which we have a little bit of gold. And part of the LV quest book is synthesizing that gold down until we can get actual good amounts of gold. So that might be something we'll have to play around with. But okay, so put the gold in the wire mill. That should be the electrolyzer. The electrolyzer is one of my favorite machines. It's where you really start getting into the chemistry aspect of it and breaking down these items into multiple byproducts. and it kind of just opens up a lot for you in terms of getting different things out of stuff you wouldn't expect. Just keep moving cables over. Electrolyzer. And I think we can just put this in here. Looks like we're probably going to need... Oh, it's an MV recipe. Okay, well, that's okay. We planned for this. I think we'll end up making sodium then. This was just a thing I just thought I would try. So it's lithium, sodium, or cadmium. I think cadmium will be pretty hard to do. So I think we might just want to go with sodium, which is why I have the salt that I had in my backpack. So let's go ahead and do that instead. But I'm going to take a second and I'll be back. Okay, and we are back and we have collected some salt and we are currently smelting that down. And then all we got to do is take the salt and put it in our newly made electrolyzer, and then that will give us sodium and chlorine. So you put that in here, get some sodium, get some chlorine, and then that way we can make some sodium batteries. So they're not quite as good as the lithium batteries, but that's okay. We can deal with that for right now. So cadmium's 120, lithium's 100, and sodium is 80,000 EU. Okay, but amongst 4, that's not too bad. 320,000 EU is not anything to scoff at. So there we go. We'll just go ahead and let that go. It doesn't look like it's getting the fluid output. Or it is, but I don't see it anywhere. Oh, the fluid view. Ah, okay. So that works a little bit differently than what I'm used to. So this can hold up to 64 buckets of it, which we won't fill, but it'll be nice to have that chlorine for later. I'm sure it'll be useful, like most things. But now the next machine that we're gonna have to make is the canning machine, and we can take that sodium, and from there we can put it into the batteries. Okay, so we have the electrolyzer done. Let's get the canning machine, which is 2 more circuits and a pump. Okay, the pump might be a little bit different. I don't think I've made one yet. Canning machine. Okay, canning machine. Need a pump. Let's use the rubber. We just need another tin rotor, which means we need more tin plates, which is okay because we did make some more tin. We go make ourselves some more tin plates. Tin rotors are really annoying to craft. Like I said, once we get more established, I'll be able to make the extractor and then the solidifier so that we won't have to make this absolutely awful recipe for those. So we can just use that, melt it down in the tin and then extrude it, or solidify it rather. So not a huge deal, but let's grab ourselves some sodium. And I don't know how many it takes per, so maybe we should figure that out. Okay, so it looks like it takes a decent amount, but in the canning machine, is it different? Okay, cool. So it only takes 2 if we use the canning machine. So we technically don't need the canning machine to do this, but I figured we may as well. I feel like the canning machine doesn't get enough love. That's okay. All right, that's fine. And back into it here. Canning machine and rotor. Oh, now we need the screw. Oh, good. Cut that up. Make a bolt, and then hopefully now we are ready to make ourselves the pump. And we are. Thank goodness. Okay, we still have to make this. Still have to make this. LV machine hole. Very nice. And finally, the canning machine. Cool. Not too bad. Not too bad. It could have been way worse. I know everything seems very manual right now, and that's because it is, but at least we have these LV machines going up fairly quickly and making our lives easier as we go along. So now we have the canning machine. Put these in here. Put the sodium in there, and we can watch ourselves get some full-size small sodium batteries. And I think eventually the plan will be to see how many of these we can get and then make the appropriate battery buffer. But one thing I did notice that is different for me, the battery buffer, they go in 1, let's go with the LV. They go in 1, 4, and 9 and 16. So it doesn't use 8. I'm not sure why they did that way, but yeah, so it uses 9 instead of 8 like it does in Nomi Factory. I'm not sure if there was a specific reason for that, but yeah, so that was that. How much chlorine we have here? What can we use the chlorine for? Can we do anything with that? Oh, I can't hit you on the chlorine dust. Okay, well, that's frustrating, but whatever. We'll figure it out. All right, next steps. Next steps. I guess the next steps would be to make the battery buffer finally. So we can get rid of the canning machine recipe. And we just need the battery buffer, which is just going to take some tin cable, LV machine casing, and a chest, which we should have everything we need for that. Battery buffer. We need to make some more of these cables. A few. Should have a lot of tin cable in here. Yeah, I do. Four of that. Do we have any chests in here? We should. Did I move them? Nope, they're there. Okay. And the battery buffer. One more craft here. The assembler will be nice to craft those LV machine holes, or just machine holes in general, because they're not hard to craft, but it's just kind of annoying. Okay, so here's where we get into wanting to rearrange some things. So we're going to want to disconnect the wires from this. And we're going to want all of it to go into the battery buffer, and then out of the battery buffer into everything else. So maybe we just take this wire mill. This might be the easiest way to do this. And place it at the end. And then we can just put the battery buffer here. And put the batteries in. So this way they are still being powered directly if necessary, but there's also a battery buffer in the event that we do run out of steam for whatever reason. That shouldn't ever happen, but at least this way we'll still have batteries charging that we can use for other things, like making ourselves some electric tools, which will be pretty cool. I've never really done that before, but that might be something fun that we can try out. But this is filling up pretty quick. I'm actually kind of surprised how quickly this is going. Not too bad. We've got ourselves quite the line of machines rolling here. It's starting to look like a factory in a lot of ways. Now we just get into the fun stuff we don't really need for anything. We didn't really need any of those things, but it was just for fun, because we're going to need them at some point. Okay, so battery buffer gone, chem reactor, super tank, compressor, fluid extractor, and solidifier. What I think I want to do is start with the compressor, just because making rubber sheets in that Steam one is extremely slow, and I would like to have just a good amount of them prepped up and ready. So we're going to need a couple pistons for that, which might be a little bit different to craft. Compressor. Yeah, we just need another machine hole again. Thankfully, I made a lot of steel plates, and hopefully I'm not running out now that I say that. Nope. Okay, cool. And we got to make more tin cable. Not a big deal. What are we running out on? How convenient. The one thing that we are making this for is the reason that we can't craft more. So that's cool. That's nice. Let's just go get this rocking then. I want to get rid of these high power or high pressure steam machines over here. We can use them for something else. Use the space for something else, that is. Okay, so what else do we need while I'm sitting here? We're going to need a lot more steel. We're going to need more tin cable than I think. We're going to need four electric, or two electric motors. The two electric motors. We'll just do everything except for that rubber, hopefully. That should make us 16 something rubber. Okay. Oh, we need more steel plates too now? Of course we do. Just a constant cycle of running back and forth to my machines. Maybe I should move my crafting station down here or move the machines up there. Vending machine. Still trying to get used to what these machines look like. They're a little bit different than what I'm used to. Let this craft up a few of these steel plates. Let's see. Okay, so these quests do complete. They don't have to be in order. That's good. Makes life a little bit easier. Let's see. There's some cool stuff down here. Looks like we get into this Ender IO. Yeah, some Ender IO farming stations. I'm not too familiar with that, but I guess the ultimate goal of this chapter is going to be getting the electric blast furnace going and getting aluminum to move us on into MV. So we'll slowly start working into that as we go. Okay. Nothing super interesting here. There's an ore processing tree to help us get gallium. So it looks like we need rubber, or not rubber, ruby. Then we'll get ore sphalerite. I think we can use ruby as well, can't we? No, that's for chrome. Okay. But we need sphalerite. Which I don't know if we've mined yet, but... yeah, I don't know if we've mined that yet. We may have to make a little trip to get ourselves some sphalerite at some point to get us some gallium, because that's going to be important for making the diodes to make our first primitive, or our first MV circuit, the primitive assembly. So not too bad. Let's actually check that. So it's 4 of the LV. So yeah, we're going to need to get a absolutely massive amount of these LV circuits, which shouldn't be too bad. This doesn't look like a terrible recipe. It looks like the diode's the hardest thing to craft. So it's just fine copper wire, some glass panes, and that small pile of gallium. Well, that's not too bad at all. Okay, that's a little bit better than I was thinking it was going to be, but I may eat those words later, but that's fine for right now. All right, so this is good. Back up here. Sells more of these. Okay, very nice. Some electric motors. We need some more iron rods. Gotta move some more iron over. Okay. So very much arbitrary amount that I just made, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. And we only need 2 for right now. We'll craft a big bulk amount of these electric motors at some point, I'm sure. But we need these pumps. We need these gears. Okay. And what are we missing here? 2 more tin cables. Of course we are. There's our second electric pump and our compressor. We just need 2 more of these cables. The sooner we get this up, the easier this is going to be. I'll be able to make massive amounts of rubber sheets. That seems to be kind of a bottleneck right now for us. Okay, and there we go. We've got our compressor made. Before we do that, I also want to make some more 4x tin cables. But I may have used enough. I think I have enough rubber to do 1 cable of it. Okay, well that's not going to work. Maybe we just place it here on the end. Okay, compressor, place it on the end. And then in theory, if we go up there and grab some rubber, hopefully, I didn't check this, but if I remember correctly, this is how it worked in Nomi Factory. So I'm just hoping that it works the same way. I can put these in here and it should make plates. So it makes 4-to-1 still, but it's 10 seconds. I don't know if that's any even faster. Is that even faster? I don't know if it is. It still just makes 16. Is there a cheaper recipe for this anywhere? Doesn't really look like it. So those are just going to be annoying to craft then the entire time. Well, whatever. We'll maybe this one will be one that we put hoppers on and stuff like that, but not terrible. Okay. Let's check how we're doing. I think we're doing pretty good right now. So we got ourselves the compressor done, and all we need now is just a few more machines that I think we're gonna need. So we need the extractor, the solidifier for easier crafting of gears and rotors and stuff like that. More tin cable, a super tank to handle some of the fluids that we're gonna be starting to get, and a chemical reactor just because can't ever go wrong with the chemical reactor. I actually don't know if I'll make the LV one unless we absolutely need to. But yeah, so I think that's where we're going to call it today. I'm running out of time here, so I want to get this going so we can get this out to you guys today. But yeah, so a lot of progress here. You saw the new setup here with the steam, and we got this huge long line of LV machines now that hopefully will be a little bit cleaner the next time you see it. But I know it's a little bit different episode, a lot of just crafting, a lot of running back and forth, but this is the kind of stuff that we have to do if we want to progress in this pack. And I will continue to try to do as much of that off camera as I feel I can do, and try to balance it with making sure you guys are keeping up to date with me and what I'm doing. So maybe not a whole lot of progress visually today, but it was a lot of progress technologically. So I'm going to consider that a big, big win. Hopefully in the next episode, we can kind of get moving a little bit there, and then we can do some more building as well. I have a couple ideas for some more builds and how to extend our base out a little bit, and I think that will be a really, really fun time. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Once again, if you did like the video, please hit the like button, and if you're new and it's your first time watching my content, go ahead and hit subscribe. That really helps me stay motivated to continue to make content at a high level here. So I appreciate you guys, and that's all I've got for you today. So it's been Eagle. Peace.